We have several stories breaking at this hour, beginning with new revelations in the sexual harassment investigation of former Governor Andrew Cuomo. Good afternoon. I'm Doug Embledge. These are details we have never heard until now, directly from Cuomo's accuser and from Cuomo himself. Jenny Ryan is following the release of these transcripts today. Jenny?
Doug, this is significant for a number of reasons. Chiefly, the governor is under oath, being questioned about allegations of sexual harassment, offering his defense in hours of testimony. Governor Cuomo, as the defendant in the sexual harassment allegations, at one point sounded more like a prosecutor. He questioned the potential bias of the special prosecutor, saying, "The way you then have conducted the review itself, I believe, raises ethical and legal questions." Cuomo vehemently defended himself against the allegations, some from staffers who said he gave them unwanted kisses. He told the prosecutors, quote, "That's what some people do. We're just talking about a peck on the lips." Several women have said the governor's actions made them feel uncomfortable. Cuomo is 63, the women making claims against him substantially younger. He testified about the changing workplace culture, saying recently he started asking, "May I kiss you?" In response, he said, to shifting norms, if you, as you may call it. In the end, a pair of independent prosecutors appointed by the state attorney general found the former governor sexually harassed 11 women, claims which forced him to step down, ending, for now, a storied political career. Cuomo also denied groping a staff member in the executive mansion. That is the allegation for which he is charged with a criminal complaint in Albany. But the district attorney has recently raised concerns, saying the charge could be potentially defective because it did not include a sworn statement from the alleged victim. Cuomo is now scheduled to be arraigned on that charge January 7th.
Murder plot against a family court judge. Dimitri Cash is accused of abducting his children who had been taken away by the courts. As we hear from Jane Flash, prosecutors now say his first plan was to murder the judge whom he blamed for the loss of custody.
Dimitri Cash lost custody of his 4 children, including the 2 youngest, over issues of corporal punishment. Then, in 2020, as 13 Wham News first reported, he lost the appeal to get them back.
The appellant, which both parents inflicted upon those 2 older children. It was just a matter of time before those 2 younger children became victims.
Prosecutors say even as that appeal was being argued, Cash began to search out information about family court judge Stacey Romeo, where she parked and where she lived. It's alleged in November he personally conducted surveillance on her vehicles at the Hall of Justice, then went to her neighborhood to gather information about her residence. Prosecutors say he was aided by his cousin, Joe Nathan Cash, who also conducted surveillance of the judge's home.
He's under a microscope. Innocent activities can be misconstrued as something nefarious or criminal when it's just not the case.
The date was November 20th when Dimitri Cash lost his appeal to get his kids back. In an online petition, Cash called out the judge for acting with, quote, bias and prejudice. The indictment alleges his actions in the alleged murder conspiracy escalated. Prosecutors say he searched the internet for ways to purchase a FedEx or Postal Service uniform and talk to a FedEx driver about routes. Then on December 29th, his cousin purchased kerosene. The men have been indicted for conspiracy to commit murder.
As 13 Wham's Tyler Brown reports, the price hike means more people need help, and so do the places that help them. Tyler?
Jenny, pantries, both big and small, tell me they are being impacted by the high prices in food, which means those in need of their services this holiday season may be getting less food or different food than expected. It may look like a lot of food, and it is, but the executive director at Dimitri House says it falls short of the food donations they would normally get this time of year.
In the past, we've had it all over the floors and everywhere, and this year is a little leaner than it's been in the past.
Lori Prezel says the spike in food costs has impacted donations in a negative way.
And I think a large part of the community, what they've decided is they say, hey, I'm going to spend $100 or whatever on this basket, and with the extra costs that have gone in with the inflationary piece, they're putting less into the basket than we normally have done.
At FoodLink, the federal program that helps keep its warehouse stocked with food, is experiencing some slowdowns due to high prices and supply chain issues.
We've just had to swap out some items just because of long lead times. For example, certain vegetables out, or changing a particular main protein that we may use because it's hard to source. For example, chicken. Costs have risen exponentially, and it's really hard to get that product in time.
Dimitri House is on pace to feed more than 200 families for the Thanksgiving holiday, but there are concerns for the Christmas season, with prices predicted to continue rising.
Last year, we just gave our community, anybody who drove up to the porch, we gave bags of food and said Merry Christmas and sent them on their way. I'm not sure this year. I don't know yet. We're going to do our very best to make that happen, but I don't know if it'll be at the same capacity because of the extra cost.
And pantries tell me that truck driver shortages are also a big factor. It's now costing even more money to have certain foods arriving at the pantries, and the lack of drivers has also caused some delays.